All right, let's connect it up today. Live stream November 7th, 2021, coming at you. Going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff from The Walking Dead. So, spoiler warning, obviously. So, wait for it to connect and give the whole spoiler warning spiel again. But you know how we do here on The Walking Dead content, PT channel stuff coming at you. Hopefully, you're doing well around the globe, over the United States, wherever you're from. Man, we're going to talk about some different stuff. More red object theory, red theory for the Walking Dead universe. And it's funny how you can point stuff out, show people with evidence, with ideas, speculation, facts, evidence, like I said, and people still don't believe. And that's all right. But ultimately, people are going to talk about what they do, what they think. People agree, disagree. And it's more thing I've seen is people disagreeing. Like if they agree, they probably won't really say much. They're just like, yeah, that's good. Move on to the next video. But if you say something that is so crazy to them, not even like crazy in general, but if they disagree wholeheartedly, you best believe they're going to comment. And they're going to comment a lot. And they're going to talk about some stuff and how this person is wrong and how you're wrong and how that's wrong. And not really give anything notice of, they're right, just that the other person's wrong too. So, but ultimately, guys, the Walking Dead universe is going strong still. Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 and The World Beyond Season 2. So thank you, Carpe, Mark, Mike, Adaby, Lindsay, Wilson, Jen, Kami, everybody come to join us for the Walking Dead universe live stream. So we'll be talking about some Walking Dead stuff. I've seen the latest episodes of The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2. And I guess it's episode 7. And it says 3 episodes remaining. So that's 9, and 10. So 8, 9, and 10 are coming up next couple weeks. And then it's over. Where does it go from here? Does anybody really care? Does it really matter for the Walking Dead universe? For sure, it does. Because it makes a big difference for everybody involved to have the Walking Dead universe connect. And the World Beyond is doing a much better job, but it's still not a great job of connecting with the Walking Dead universe, in my opinion. So ultimately, guys, hopefully you've seen all the episodes on AMC or AMC Plus. If you've seen all the episodes, don't talk about any of the stuff for the last half hour, the latest episodes, because not everybody has seen it. So I like the idea of talking about The Walking Dead, but it's weird with the stuff watching it early, AMC Plus, a week earlier. I'm like, man, it's crazy to think. So hopefully you're doing well with the time change, daylight savings. It's definitely something there too. So I'm rocking the red beanie hat for 2 reasons. 1, to support the red theory. Also, it's definitely connected with some episode stuff that I'm going to share with you in the last half hour of this live stream. Also, it's kind of a little chilly in Florida. For Florida's sake, it's kind of funny compared to what people are dealing with around the United States and globe. But it's been cold. Cooler, not cold. So it'll be cooler probably around different places. Yesterday was probably the coldest day of the year. I think it only got up to like 60 something. I'm not sure if it was mid 60s. But it was cold. The sun didn't really come out. It was definitely overcast. And Friday it rained all day. So hopefully where you're at, it's safe and sound. You're doing all right. I know that I'm already going to be messed up with the time change. It always messes me up for about 2-3 weeks. Milo, my cat, woke me up his normal time. But now it's an hour earlier. So that's great. So we get to deal with the hour earlier stuff. And I'm sure if you have animals or kids or babies or whatever, they don't know and care about daylight savings, and they're going to wake up when they wake up. So instead of like, I get to sleep in and gain another hour of sleep. Does anybody get to do that? Did anybody actually gain an hour of sleep? I don't know. I know I didn't. I actually probably lost the hour because I had to get up, go to the store, come here, come back. It's just a big old mess. So ultimately, guys, I want to say something too. I've seen people talking about different stuff in, the live streams and then in the comments about, the Fear the Walking Dead stuff, right? So hopefully you know about the channel here, what we do. We talk about stuff, we break it down, we discuss, review, recap, analyze, speculate, all that stuff, right? So it's an interesting thing when people people love to bring up every now and again. Well, basically, let me rewind a little bit. So if someone supports the episodes, like, so say if The Walking Dead, I have videos about Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, all the different things. So it's crazy to think that if I support the episodes, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, there's going to be people that are like, the episodes are trash, they're garbage, why are you lying? Come on, whatever. And then if I talk about things that annoy me or bother me or plot holes or stuff that I think is kind of dumb, cheesy there, people are like, you're too hard on the Fear the Walking Dead. I wish you were the same thing on The Walking Dead. You can't win both ways, right? Whatever way. If it's support, people are going to be like, come on, be real about it. If you're real about it or you're negative about it or people consider negative, they're like, come on, show support. You can't win. So I've learned that many years ago. And you can fight with people and you can do this. But recently it's kind of been a thing that I'm like, well, in the Walking Dead universe, not just Fear the Walking Dead, Walking Dead as well. I've clearly said this numerous times, but I'll state the obvious here. The Walking Dead universe as a whole does some dumb things. They have plot holes. They have stuff that doesn't make sense. Stuff is cheesy. Stuff is corny. Stuff are dead ends. Stuff is people that we still don't know some things about certain characters, right? So we'll see what happens with, Wendell, the kids, different characters that we haven't seen. Madison, right? If that's still open-ended for Tobias, whatever you want to think of that. For the longest time with The Walking Dead, Morales. And there's kind of been some information that came out recently that The Walking Dead season 2 was kept on the farm because, supposedly, allegedly, AMC had the budget on Mad Men. They didn't put it on The Walking Dead, or even Breaking Bad at the time too, I believe. So they put most of their budget towards the show, toward Mad Men. And to be honest, I've never seen one episode of Mad Men. I might check it out down the road, maybe not, but I haven't seen it. I watched all The Walking Dead, all of Breaking Bad, and it's crazy to think that The Walking Dead season 2 for a long time until season 7 came around, to me was my least favorite season. It was boring. Not much happened. It was kind of like World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead at times. Boring, bland stuff. What did I just watch? Stuff happened, but didn't happen. And it's kind of the way World Beyond feels at times, really in both seasons, where it's like, what did I just watch? Like, I just watched an episode for 45 minutes, and what did I actually watch? Okay, well, the group is separated. Then they're together. We have this thing to fill in the blank. And it's like, are they winging it? Are they, it's like kind of crazy. And so season 2 had limited budget, lost its showrunner in the middle of the season. Frank Darabont left, I don't know around what episode. But then certain cast wanted to leave, but then they wanted to stay. And then it's like, so it is what it is. It happens with shows and movies and budgeting and stuff gets cut. And I saw a thing recently about Sylvester Stallone. I'm a big Rocky fan. I love Sylvester Stallone and Rambo and everything there too. And he was doing a Rocky IV director's cut because that movie's been out. It's crazy to think it's 35, 36 years old. And he was trying to go back and edit it and change things and how it was. And he's watching it. And he's like, wow, there's a part where Apollo Creed doesn't have a glove on. And he points at Drago. He's like, I want you. And he has no glove on his hand. Then it turned out that Sylvester Stallone said he did all the action stuff and the fight sequences and did all that first. And then he filmed that. So, Carl Weathers didn't have the glove on, because he did all this stuff with the gloves on and took it off too. So it's just like, wow, you get to see things how they were done. And I like Rocky IV personally, but Rocky V was a crazy thing, and they talk about it, but that's neither here nor there for the Walking Dead universe. But ultimately, Fear the Walking Dead season 7. So I've seen, was it 5 episodes now? All 5 episodes. And it's crazy to think that it's, the first 8 episodes is the first part, and we're halfway done, more than halfway done. And I don't know if it's budgeting, if it's writing, if it's a little bit of both. But some things are cheesy. Some things look bad. The writing is what it is. And they've been building it up and building it up and building it up for Strand versus Morgan. And I want to see Strand versus Morgan. And we have had conversations, but nothing really has come around yet. And to be honest, I like the idea of Strand being the villain because he's basically a villain since the beginning. And now he's a villain on the show. But he hasn't really done anything this season. Last season, he tried to kill Morgan. But last season was kind of the coming out of Morgan and tried to do his own place. And then Strand went against it and said, I'm going to do what you couldn't do and try to prove him wrong. So is he truly being a villain, or is he trying to show Morgan up? And you know those people too, like, I guess I'm kind of one of those people, not a Strand type person, but when people kind of try to get stuff done and they throw people under the bus, make people look bad, and do things and whatever, it's like, well, you don't have to do those things to accomplish a goal or accomplish tasks. You can just handle it, right? And you can be a different way about it. There's people that are managers or teachers or whatever, and you're like, that's really not cool to way somebody manages or has the power in there. Strand could feel that way. But also Strand is an egomaniac, and so it's one of those things where Strand... So you see it in the posters. You see Strand versus Morgan. So we're going to see that eventually. And again, I bring it up every live stream, or I have for a while, that it's basically build up, and then it falls kind of flat. The build up is there, and it's not always the case. But if you go back to, we'll go Terminus. There was tons of build-up for Terminus. The radio, those arrive, survive, and go to Terminus, go to Terminus, go to Terminus, go to Terminus. And then they go to Terminus, and they're there for like 5 seconds. They go in, they do this, and they do have a good action sequence. The premiere episode where they leave Terminus basically is one of the best episodes around. But I would have liked a little more time there, potentially, but it's not that big a deal. The Sanctuary, the Saviors, just, I don't know. Stuff kind of falls flat and builds up, and I don't know if they can really deliver on the build-up. And if Strand doesn't have some altercation with Morgan, because we know that Morgan could take out Strand if they came to fighting hand-to-hand. But I feel like Strand would fight dirty. He would definitely be, I don't know, right? So, yeah, so, right, like Andrew, I think Terminus build-up worked, though. Did it? Like, you got there, and then it was like, 2 episodes. Okay. Would have loved to have more of it, but it was kind of cool because Terminus was still around, so technically the termites were still around, just the compound of where Terminus was. Just went down too. So, and again, discussions and different opinions are great. People agree, disagree, it's fine. But ultimately, okay, so Andrew, did you like All Out War? Because that was a huge build-up. Pretty lackluster in my opinion. Stuff was pretty cheesy. The Whisperer War and all this stuff, kind of a build-up for that. But again, there's going to be hits and misses. And we're going to do there. Oh, I don't know what happened here. So, but ultimately, I think we're back. I don't know if we lost the stream for a little bit. But ultimately, people watch the different shows for all different things too. So, yeah. And it's all good. We have fun with it. We support it. We watch it. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But it's kind of running its course, right? The Walking Dead is not what it was. The Walking Dead... Hopefully you guys can see me all right. I see it's lagging on the video here, but hopefully we're okay with that and you can hear me all right. Again, sometimes it turns into a podcast, but this is definitely... I'm going with it's YouTube because my upload speed is, good kilobytes per second. But again, YouTube is kind of there, but we'll just keep rolling with it for the hour. So, but it is what it is. The show is turned into certain things. But I'm kind of glad we're running its course, and next season will be the final season. Because what are you going to have? Like season 28 of The Walking Dead. Like, how are you going to do that? I just don't think it would be feasible, and everything that starts needs to finish. The circle of life, right? But we've had Fear the Walking Dead, and some people stand up for Fear the Walking Dead like it's the best show ever made. But it's good. It's decent. It's improved. It's been, more misses than hits in my opinion. But I've watched every episode. I support the show. I talk about it. We discuss it here. Even the same thing with World Beyond. So we do have confirmation that the World Beyond is only 2 episodes. 10 episodes. So it's 20 episodes total. 10 season 1, 10 season 2. And to be honest, I feel like it probably should have been 1 season of 10 episodes. That's it. But because the first season, the first 5-6 episodes were slow. Super slow. Episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10 were pretty good. So that's half a season. Not even half a season, but just about half a season. Same thing so far with World Beyond Season 2. First half of the season, been pretty slow. Been building and building and building and building. Been pretty decent with the Jadis stuff. And again, we'll talk about that in about 15 minutes. Talk about the latest episode. But it's kind of running the same course. This episode that just aired is probably the best episode so far. Probably, and it really needs to be amazing, if not greatly improved. I don't know. Like, people that like the show are going to watch it. The people that don't like the show, they may still watch it and complain about it no matter what. But at the end of the day, I guess they just want people to watch, right? So I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile for the bulk of the fan base to watch it. But ultimately, if something happens, it's going to be on this channel and a million other channels and Instagram and Facebook. It's going to spread like wildfire. If something major happens, like the World Beyond connects so much with The Walking Dead and sets up the Rick movies, which I hope it does. And I asked the poll question that I realized that it's a bad poll question because I forgot the word we. So I wrote, when will see Rick Grimes? So when will we see Rick Grimes again? And I put the poll question up on the channel. So I apologize for the misspelling. I think I did it yesterday and it's crazy. But ultimately, when will we see Rick Grimes again? What do you think, guys? The Walking Dead season 11? The Rick movies? Or we won't see him again? What do you think is going to happen? Not what you want to happen, because I think we all want to see Rick in the movies and in season 1. We want both to happen. But what do you think will actually happen? Will we actually get Rick movies? Will we actually get a lot for Rick Grimes going forward? Because the latest pictures have been Andrew Lincoln in Barbados with his wife and I believe, sons and, family. So it's great to see Rick or Andrew Lincoln out and about. But we want to see Andrew Lincoln being in Georgia or wherever they're filming the movies. If they're going to film in Georgia, which I would assume they would. But, I still hope, and I'm holding out hope, that they're going to film the Rick movies early next year. Probably April, start in April or May. Because the Walking Dead main show will be done. And I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't happen, there's nothing we can do about it. I guess complain, vent, rant, discuss, argue, whatever you want to call it, but there's nothing, we have no control over it. But I think it'd be a huge missed opportunity for what it is, too. So, we'll see. There's going to be a lot of speculation on the two. So, I was getting ready for the live stream. I saw something posted on Facebook somewhere, and supposedly there's spoilers for episodes 17 through 24. And I don't know if it's synopsis or breakdowns or whatever. I think it's just fan fiction that someone's coming up with it based on the comics. But be on the lookout for that this week. It's going to be a crazy week for me. Again, I probably won't be able to post videos every day because my schedule is ramping up. There's a lot more and more patients. We're short-staffed this week for PT and stuff, so it's going to be kind of crazy. And unfortunately, I won't be able to post every day. I'm going to try to, but it's just part of being. I have a full-time job, plus YouTube, plus house, cats, car, so it's just a lot. It's just too many hats to wear. So, but ultimately, guys, it's kind of weird to talk about episodes that, like, we could talk about the John Dory Sr. episode with June, but then the next episode, it's like, what episode actually airs today on AMC? I'm like, I don't even know based on what I watched today. With it's just so much craziness on there too. So I'm gonna probably run I'll be having a thing where I'll probably be posting various videos during the week. If I miss a day or two, or I apologize, but it's kind of is what it is. Saturday looks to be the day that I'll post my review of Fear the Walking Dead. I'm probably not going to ever do World Beyond full reviews and recaps because, again, nothing really happens of it. Do you really care that our group is at the perimeter and they talk to Indira and you find out about Indira's condition and the kids are there? Like, who cares? Like, who cares about these characters, right? Who cares about Indira, her kids, the people at the perimeter? We got enough to worry about with Daryl, Carol, the Reapers, Negan, hopefully Rick, Morgan. Like, it's just so many other characters. There's just so many stuff taking us all these different ways. But I'll talk about Jadis and break those things down, and hopefully you saw my previous video of what she actually said. And it's pretty cool when we see Jadis talking about stuff from The Walking Dead, because that's what we want. We can all agree, right? Well, we all can't agree, but the most of us can agree that we want The Walking Dead. Like it's really annoying that Morgan never said Rick Grimes' name on Fear the Walking Dead. But at least we got Sherry and Dwight talking about Negan and the sanctuary and stuff there. Like, it makes we want to have those connections. We want to see Sherry and Dwighty Boy talking about Negan and what happened there and what they're going to do, and should they come back, should they not. I think they should come back. It would be great for the show, but I don't know logistically. I mean, they can easily have time jumps. Easily. I mean, they're just say 5 years later. Hey, we're on 95, huh? Haven't been on this road in a long time. Yeah, I can't believe we just made it through the Rocky Mountains. Crazy driving, man. Man, we're lucky to be getting back. Can't wait to see everybody. I wonder if they're going to be changed there. I wonder what they've been up to. Whatever. It can say, then they're on the road, and then they roll up to Alexandria, and they're like, is this the right place? Or they go to the kingdom, right? What if Morgan went to the kingdom and was like, what? What happened here? Or they go, it'd be kind of cool to see stuff like that. And they could open it up, like open up the world of the Walking Dead universe. We don't need Fear the Walking Dead by itself and World Beyond over there and the Walking Dead here and then the spin-offs of crazy stuff too. So, Mike Allen says, I got Sasha a new dog. She named it Negan. Oh, man. Negan. And he's like, I'm Negan. I'm Negan. We're all Negan, right? So, yeah, to be honest, back in the day, I used to watch The Walking Dead, like rewatch the seasons. And I can't remember the last time I've done that. And it was really cool to watch. Like, I watched previous seasons, like season 6 and certain episodes and stuff too. So it's really, really cool to go back and watch certain episodes. I probably can't watch all the episodes just because it's like some of them are just filler in the bottle episode stuff. Like, doesn't make sense. Like, don't waste your time too. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Mike Ranger, he says, Ranger Buddy said he would let you interview him for the books, Bryce. So for those who don't know, Fight for Us is my book series. It's going strong. Captured is doing pretty well. It's my latest book of the Fight for Us series. And the next book I want to write is In 100 Days Part 3. So I definitely thought trying to get that together of the characters and the story and where it left off and where it's going to go and how it's going to connect with the Walking Dead universe too. So it's definitely a cool thing to have connections and to build it up to see there. And, I'm hoping that the writers want that to happen in the World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead and the Walking Dead. They want to have the connections, maybe their hands are tied to how they do it, and there's too many people saying this and saying that, or, I don't know. Like, if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, stuff gets interfered with. It doesn't work. It doesn't do this, or people have ideas for what it should be about and how things should connect and if they shouldn't. And is it Gimple pulling the strings? And, I don't know what the latest thing is with it, but I don't know. I just really hope that the Walking Dead universe, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond the Walking Dead, ends in a way that is satisfying. Like, I don't want to have a Sopranos ending where the screen turns black and that's it. I doubt we're going to have that because of the Carol and Daryl spinoff and the stuff that was kind of spoiled by the Walking Dead people and Gimple and whoever else said that we're going to have different shows going forward. So it's not going to be a true ending because we're going to have other shows, more spinoffs of it. So the big questions are, will Negan survive and get his own show? How and what is the Carol and Daryl show about? Is it going to be about the Reapers? Is it going to be about, Leah, Dog, Rick? I don't know. I mean, is Michonne ever coming back around again? Is she going to have her own show? Is she going to be for the movies? If we're not having the movies, what happens to Michonne? She just went off to Nowhereville. So, who are the people that she met? And there's still time for it to be answered. And so I'm holding hope again that we get stuff answered in the Walking Dead universe. And it's just kind of what you have to be, too. So we'll have to see what they do. Kirkman, Gimple, what do they have planned? Are they going to string us along and just try to make money? I don't know. It's just one of those things where they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, and the fandom that supports them will watch it. Because I know that people watch the show unconditionally, love the show. There's people that love every episode, every character, every story, everything. Fear the Walking Dead, same thing. Some people like Fear the Walking Dead better than The Walking Dead. I personally don't, but some people do. I saw somebody shared an article on Facebook, and I didn't click on it because the headline of the thing or the tagline is, Fear the Walking Dead is scarier than The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead is better than The Walking Dead. I don't think either of those things are. I don't think The Walking Dead is like scary. The universe is scary. Like before, there would be jump scares where a walker would come towards the window and jump back, but it wasn't anything like, I guess if it's anything, it's Fear the Walking Dead, or Walking Dead is, unpredictable because you don't know what's going to happen on Fear the Walking Dead because there's no comic base, there's no graphic novel to go read. But The Walking Dead throws us twists and turns, and, it's interesting too. So I like to see, Mato says, when do you think the first Rick Grimes movie will air? Well, Mato, I hope that we get to see the movie. A movie. One of 3 movies. I'm still holding out hope for that. I think Andrew Lincoln wants to be part of the universe still, and whatever they're doing. But my earliest thing would be end of 2022, so in a year, basically, November, December, or early 2023. It's wishful thinking. Well, I guess you could do it, right? I mean, they do 8 episodes, film it, and just keep filming it, and then they have it air, later on in the same year. So you could film a movie. Like, I mean, The Walking Dead is basically, if it's done right, a couple movies a season because it's so long. Each episode is about 45 minutes. So 45 minutes and 45 minutes is an hour and a half. That's a movie. That's 2 episodes lengthwise. So you film for a month, you get it done, you move on. Or are you going to film all 3 movies at once? Can they do it logistically? Do they want to do that? How can you film the movies if Fear the Walking Dead is going to carry on? There's a lot of questions. I don't know. Too. So, but ultimately, guys, ask your questions in the top chat. Super chats are always welcome. We appreciate all you guys being here. Hopefully, you're safe and sound and staying warm and just being good. Mike Allen says, "You be the PT therapist in the Commonwealth, Bri." I wouldn't mind being a PT for the Commonwealth. I'm sure they have everything we need. I would not want to go work for the Civic Republic because they might take me out if I do something wrong. It'd be crazy, right? But I think the Commonwealth would be a little more forgiving for it. But we'll see. Maybe or not. I still holding out hope that Lance and or Pamela Milton has a pretty big, if not significant, connection with the Civic Republic. That'd be an easy, great way to connect the Civic Republic stuff for the universe. All right, guys, so spoiler warning for the last half hour of the stream. We're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode, what is it, 5? 4? 4. Yeah. No, 5. Episode 5. Season 7, Episode 5. I believe it's called Till Death. It's directed by Lenny James, who is Morgan Jones in the Walking Dead universe. So let me see Wilson's question before I get on. Do you think the Walking Dead franchise is big enough to air the movie in cinemas, or would it be on AMC? I personally think it would be on AMC Plus, and that's how they would get you to buy AMC Plus for the movie. I think that's how they would do it. Before, I thought they would try to do it in the movie theater, and they tried to do, but I think they're going to have more and more stuff on AMC Plus. The spinoffs, I don't know if the Daryl and Carol show is going to be on there or what, but I do think that's what they're going to have to be there too. So. Daniel says, hey, Bri, sorry I'm late. Loving the content, mate. Love Dan from London. Thank you, Daniel Murphy. Appreciate it. From London. Very awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So, Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 5 focuses on Dwight and Sherry. We see Dwight, Sherry, the people they were in the bunker with, these two new people, also another person played by Aisha Taylor. Her name is Mickey. We see Strand, Howard, and, a couple of Strand's people. But that's really it for the main cast. So the big thing about it is Sherry and Dwight are out being like Robin Hood. They are protecting people. They, like these two people in the biohazard suits and the biomasks and whatever, they have fruit that they stole from someone. And as they're coming back with it, these two people on horseback, well, the guy looks at a fruit, and poof, it explodes. Someone shoots the fruit from like so far away, and it's Sherry and Dwight in these like black outfits. So they're going around protecting people and making sure stuff is given back. And, they're, like I said, like Robin Hood. So they bring back some of the fruit that they took back to the original owner that was given to them for helping him out. They go back into the bunker, and it's the woman, the man, and their kid in the girl that's in the bunker. Dwight gives the girl, I think her name is Brigga. I think they're calling her that. They give her like this Tetris type of game, more like a Tiger handheld thing. So, and they're surviving down there. But ultimately, the couple wants to leave the bunker. Dwight and Sherry don't think it's a good idea, but hint, hint, the red color theory strikes again on Fear the Walking Dead. Sherry is clearly wearing a red headband that's tied around her head like the girl from Aliens. I forget her name, but she's the badass chick with the Gatling gun type of thing. And looks the same, like it's got a same vibe to it too. So later on, Sherry survives, Dwight survives, but the people that are connected in the bunker all die. The husband, wife, and the daughter die. So is it the red, color theory? I think so, because again, it connects the people that someone cares about and or the person. So yes. So when Dwight and Sherry, they stop the two guys with the fruit, they kill one of the guys, the other guy gets away. So that's the guy that actually comes back and kills Vasquez. Yeah, that's right, Wilson. Thank you, Vasquez, from Aliens. So when you see Sherry, that's all I could think of is Vasquez. Kind of like the chick from Army of the Dead. Same thing. Rocking the red sweatband. Fun fact, Gail Ann Hurd was part of Aliens as the director, producer, someone very high up. And she was married to James Cameron around that same time. Pretty cool stuff. Gail Ann Hurd, look it up. So ultimately, Sherry and Dwight have a code. They killed one of their people before, the guys who stole the fruit. The other guy gets away, comes back around, ends up killing the family later on in the episode. Dwight and Sherry get a call on the radio. They go to the spot. It's a trap by Howard and Strand's people. Dwight and Sherry have a reputation of getting stuff done, finding people, being pretty badass. So Howard brings Dwight and Sherry, puts the masks over their head, and brings them back to the Strand's compound, tower, whatever you want to call it. Strand's hitting golf balls, but there's a wall there, and you would never want to do that because if he shanks it and he chips it or chili dips it or cuts it fat, that ball's going right into the thing, coming back at you. It hits somebody there. But either way, he's hitting golf balls into the group of the dead that are on the floor from the top of the tower. Dwight and Sherry are standing there. They take the masks off or the hoods off, and Strand starts to laugh. He's like, ha, ha, ha. Howard's like, you know these people? He's like, we go way back. Yeah. So he takes them around, gives them the tour. Dwight and Sherry's like, you could have just called us. You could have asked us, right? So Strand gives them the tour. He actually calls it a sanctuary. So they're doing the whole Negan sanctuary thing. Instead, the pictures on the wall, the Polaroids with Negan, it's with victims of the lineup from Lucille. Here, it's walkers. People that they're trying to keep track of, walkers, things there too, but it's the same idea. And the fact that he calls it a sanctuary is pretty hilarious. And Dwight and Sherry actually call him out on it and say, we've been to a place like this before. It hasn't worked out, blah, blah, blah. But Strand needs Dwight and Sherry to go out and find this woman, Mickey, who was brought back to Strand's place. She was patched up, healed up, and she escaped somehow. She left because she wanted to go find her husband. Mickey is played by Aisha Taylor, who does a great job. She's been a director on the show, and I think she's really great for the Walking Dead universe. Now she's a character in the Walking Dead universe. She does a really good job. And again, this episode is directed by Lonnie James, and it's a pretty good episode. So Dwight and Sherry go out and try to find these people, and they're struggling to do this, and they go and they find Mickey, who Mickey turns out was a famous professional wrestler. Her husband was her tag team partner, but they weren't actually married in real life. They were as wrestlers. Either way, it's a good thing. They talk about what to do. Mickey doesn't want to go back to see Strand. She wants to go to Padre. She wants to find her husband. They come across, basically, Dwight. They find out that Dwight doesn't want to take Strand or Mickey back to go find her husband because it's just they go against it. It goes back and forth a little bit in the episode, and so ultimately, Sherry goes with Mickey to go find her husband, and Dwight leaves, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this," and so they basically split up, and that's when. That's when they find out about the kid, the people in the bunker, and they wanted to leave. So then they find out about it, and so Dwight figures out they wanted to leave. We stopped them from doing this. We have to change what we're doing here. Let's just go to Strand's place. Let's do this. It's safe there. But she wants to find her husband. It's what it comes down to. She wants to go do that. So Sherry and Mickey go try to find her husband. Dwight leaves, goes and he finds his horse. And when he's there, the guy that he let go at the beginning with the fruit comes by with the gun, kind of like Raleigh before, so they're reusing the same story arc. And he comes back around, or the same story idea, and they kind of fight. Dwight falls to the ground. He goes, the horse kicks the guy, probably breaks his back. It's pretty amazing how he gets kicked. He falls down. All these Polaroids fall out. He has a picture of the people in the bunker that were with Dwight and Sherry. Turns out the guy was hired by Strand to go kill those people because he wants Dwight and Sherry to stay with them and to use, to go find Mickey. So Dwight is pissed off. Lets walkers eat this guy. I think his name is Eli. Doesn't really matter because he's walker bait. So that's how that goes. Sherry and Mickey, they come to it's like grapple table or something, whatever. It's a wrestling gym that Mickey and her husband Cliff were going to open up. All these walkers are there by the door. Mickey actually escaped Strand's place by putting phone books underneath her clothing and stuff and made like armor, basically. It was pretty smart. But the walkers kind of ripped it up. So Sherry comes up with the idea about the walker blood and puts the walker blood all over Mickey. So she's camouflaged. Mickey puts a helmet on and she's walking towards the door of the gym. Turns out it's locked. She tries to walk back because there's a lock around it with a chain. She can't get in there. As she's walking, a walker has a knife in its hand. It like catches Mickey and like gets stuck. Pulls it off. The walkers start to attack Mickey, real dramatic as it would be. Sherry shoots some of the walkers. They're like, the door's locked. We can't get in there. So Sherry shoots the glass door. They run inside. Bing, bada, boom. They find Cliff, Mickey's not husband, but wrestling husband. He's a walker. Mickey breaks down. Sherry stabs Cliff, the walker. They get into the wrestling ring. They get surrounded by the wrestling ring. Well, they also use heavy bags and put them in front of the door. And they're like kind of using it. The walker would definitely be grabbing Sherry's hair. It was, crappy. But again, stuff like that, it's like, what are you doing? But either way, they get into the ring. They decide, what are we going to do? We're surrounded. They're out of bullets. They're stuck there. They're going to look at the radio. Sherry's about to radio Strand for help. Dwight comes in, kind of kills some walkers. They say, don't do that. Wait, do this, thing, and there. And then really weird music starts to play that doesn't fit. It was really weird. Don't know who picked this music choice. If it was Lenny James, who was the director, or the showrunners, or Gimple, or whatever. It's not really a good music choice in my opinion. But it's let's wrestle and fight, and they're taking out walkers and they're shooting them, and then Mickey is doing wrestling moves, does like a pile driver and it is a tombstone, and boom, takes out the walker and smashes the walker's heads, and it's pretty funny. And also Dwight knows who Mickey is because he was a fan of wrestling, and it's kind of good. Mickey is really good for the episode, and so is Dwight. Austin does a great job. Sherry's pretty good too, but Dwight and Mickey really make the episode. There's a finishing move that all wrestlers do. It's a tag team partner move. And Mickey had to go to the second. She goes off the top rope, but here she goes off the second rope and jumps and stabs down the walker and kills it. It's really cheesy, corny, but entertaining at the same time. But again, the music is really weird. When you watch it, just let me know what you think of the music there too. So they're using trophies to kill the walkers, and they kill a bunch of walkers and they're safe. Sherry and Dwight talk, and Dwight's like, I want to have a family, and so they want to have kids, and they just want to do this, and I didn't really think about it before, and now they want to do this, so it's a nice moment, blah, blah, blah. So Sherry, Mickey, and Dwight get on their horses, they put on their suits, and they ride. And so they're going. They get a call over the radio. I'm not sure what it really is, but they're riding somewhere. And as they go there, there's a person in the biohazard mask suit kind of thing, and with the welding mask thing with the breathers and stuff. And they stop. He has the gun standing there in the grass. Dwight says, if this is a setup or whatever he calls it, it's not going to work. No, it's not that. It's an invitation. And then all these people come out of the woods, and they talk, and they want to go to Padre. So Padre is brought up several times. Dwight keeps hearing about it. Sherry keeps hearing about it, but they don't know specifics. My thought is that it's an island, South Padre Island. I'm guessing Alicia's there. We're not going to see it to the very end of the first part, so season 7, episode 8. And that's about it. Next week's episode is Althea, Morgan, and Grace, the Reclamation Team, the Civic Republic, and then we'll have to see from there. But it looks to be Althea, CRM, Morgan, and Grace, and that's what the episode trailer is all about. I'm super excited for it because hopefully we get some more explanation for it. This stuff with Sarah and that group that was in the helicopter was pretty lackluster because we didn't get to see anything connections with it. They were in the helicopter in season 6. Now in season 7, they were just somewhere because the helicopter went down. So we need more explanation connections with that too. So we'll have to see. But ultimately, it's a pretty good episode. It's pretty cool to see Sherry Dwight. Nikki, the new character played by Aisha Taylor, is really good acting, and it's really good too. So I think it really works for the future of the season and going down the road. So yeah, that's really all that stuff happens there. So World Beyond. Let's talk about World Beyond for the last 15 minutes. So World Beyond is season 2, episode 7, because there's 3 episodes left after the episodes, which will be 8, 9, and 10. So we get to see the aftermath of last week's episode. Well, if it's this week's episode on AMC. So we get to see Dr. Bellshaw, who is really highlighted a lot in this episode, which you know what that means. Also, she's continuing. It starts off with her drawing blood from Sergeant Barca, or the soldier that was Barca from the first season, who's now a test subject. He becomes a walker, and the experiments fail. So Dr. Bellshaw is taking blood pressure and drawing blood and just, doing the experiment on there too. So she looks at the different things, writes some stuff down, and it's really highlighted several times around Dr. Bellshaw. One, she's highlighted a lot in the episode, so it doesn't bode well when they do that. Also, we see her holding the vial of the green, I Project Valsa, or whatever they call it, the Project V, the green stuff, which is like a chemical compound that kills people, basically, is what it is. So it's how they killed people at the campus colony in Omaha. They used the green gas, which is like chloride, and so that's what they used. So ultimately, the experiment's going on. She also has a remote control where the red power button is kind of highlighted. You look up on the counter and it's counting in red numbers. So there's the red biohazard thing on there, the red button on the remote, the red numbers, and also there's a red sticker on the door that she leaves on there too. So there's at least 4 red things that come up, and she dies in the episode. So again, the red theory strikes again too. So we get to see that later on, but we see Jadis, Huck, Dr. Bennett, and stuff kind of comes together. Silas is being interrogated by Jadis. Jadis Stokes is her name. So I don't know, Mike, about the sarin or mustard gas. It's just like a green gas that comes in and it closes your pores and connects there, and it just causes. Dr. Bennett explains it a little bit in the episode because they have the vial of the stuff that Felix took, and Dr. Bennett puts a Q-tip in a solution, puts it in there, and swirls it around, and it becomes red. And they say it's chlorine in it. So you have Hope, Iris, and Dr. Bennett working on the stuff there. Iris, to me, is kind of annoying this season. She's kind of flipped the Hope role. It's been like Hope saw the world one way and was acting a certain way, and Iris saw it one way, and now the roles are reversed. Iris is just kind of annoying in multiple parts here. Iris and Percy are definitely a thing. They're making out and probably doing whatever there too. So it's definitely Iris is a little bit much. We'll just go with that too, because later on, Dr. Bellshaw, she knows that the group took the green vial, the test tube of the green liquid, because there's there's sensors in every one, evidently, which would be ridiculous to have. But ultimately, the guards come and they come to Dr. Bellshaw and she says, "We have a problem." And she finds out about they stole something, and Dr. Bellshaw goes to Dr. Bennett, knocks on the door, goes inside there, and it says, "I know you took it. I just need it back. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming to interrogate you. They interrogated me. You have to tell them I was an hour late for dinner, and we have to get our story straight, and we have to do this. Just tell me where it is." And Dr. Bennett's like, "What?" He's playing dumb because he doesn't know if he can trust her. They're about to say something, and then the knock at the door. Dr. Bennett is taken away for questioning. As he's taken away, Felix comes there and he's like, "I'm his security team. I need to be there with him." They're like, step away. "No, you're not taking him anywhere without me. You're doing this." He kind of puts up a little fight. It's really minor, but then they bring him in. They put him in another room, and you don't see Felix the rest of the episode. So Silas is interrogated by Jadis. They take his shoes. Jadis remarks about his feet, how big his feet are. It's kind of funny. They talk. Jadis kind of likes Silas. Silas is saying, I was lost. I didn't know where I was. And he's like, oh, how do you like working there? And he says, it's like being at a junkyard. And Jadis is like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right? No. So she brings up the junkyard. It's a nice connection. We like those things. We need more of them, right? We need more connections and Easter eggs and callbacks and everything there too. So the interaction with Silas is really good. Dennis comes in, who's Huck's husband. He comes in and vouches for Silas. He likes Silas. Silas says that he was lost. Silas tells Dennis later on, I wasn't lost. He's like, I know. Well, you know, and you vouched for me and you stood up for me? Yeah, because you're a good guy. You can be a good soldier. And Jadis even says, do you think he could be a good soldier? He says, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. So maybe it's just something to it. Does Silas become a soldier in the CRM down the road? Maybe. But we only have 3 episodes left after this, so we'll have to see where it goes. But Silas kind of has a bonding moment with Dennis, and it's kind of nice, even though I do feel Dennis is going to die in the remaining episodes too. So let's see what else we got. So Hope takes the green vial. They put it in a container. They put ice in there to keep it cold. She hides it in a speaker where the kids were drinking and hanging out and partying. We see the boy that's flirting with Hope, and they kind of talk. Hope's kind of like, hey, I'll see you later. Can I do this? Blah, 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 trying to get him to go away. Maybe she likes him. Maybe she doesn't. But towards the end of the episode, we find out that the guy, the boy, I forget his name, that likes Hope is Major General Beale's son. So that's the connection with General Beale, Major General Beale. The son, Hope, that's their way to get stuff done. When are we ever going to meet that guy? I don't know, but hopefully it's in one of the remaining episodes and not the very end of it. But could that be the major connection for the Rick movies and this to continue this story on? Potentially. So it's kind of the big thing that happens. Huck, Jadis, they talk. They interrogate Dr. Bennett. They ask Dr. Bennett a bunch of questions, and he's giving answers but not giving answers. They're asking him questions like dumb stuff, but he's not really giving up anything big. Dr. Bellshaw is there in the house or in the room with Hope when Iris comes in, because Iris and Percy, they split up. Percy's going to go talk to Huck, which is like, is that a great idea? I don't know, but he gets information later on, and we find out what we already knew about a CRM killed Campus Colony for test subjects, Omaha for test subjects, and they're going to go kill Portland next. So there's no alliance. They don't want any alliance. They just want it to be the Civic Republic, kind of like we saw in the paper. It's foreshadowing that we saw was the story for where it was going. We already knew that. They just explained it. So again, nothing really major or new, but they do that. So Percy doesn't kill Huck, gets information, but at the same time, it's Huck talking to Dennis and Percy explaining it to Hope, Iris, and Dr. Bennett. So it's the same conversation being had between them. So I kind of like how they did that too. Overall, it's a pretty good episode. It's kind of a nice setup episode. Again, it's the 7th episode, kind of around the same thing like they did in the first season. The first kind of 6 episodes are a little slower. Now it's getting good, and hopefully it gets really good for episodes 8, 9, and 10, the remaining of the series. Because again, it's only 2 seasons. So ultimately, what else are we going to leave? So Dr. Bellshaw, this is pretty big. So Dr. Bellshaw takes Hope and Iris to her lab that Dr. Bennett doesn't know about. She says, these are the test subjects. We've been working on this. She's been studying reanimation. How long does it take for people to come back? Why do they do this? So she explains what she's been working on. Nobody else knows about it, not even Dr. Bennett. But Dr. Bellshaw says that she cares about Dr. Bennett. I need to find you. Give me the vial of stuff. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. We can have, I care about your dad, but we need to stay alive. We need to do this. So basically, she sees a test subject on the monitor. She frees the zombie, and then she opens up a door, and a rat comes in. And she says the rat's going to get tired, but the walker won't. So eventually later on, the walker's chasing it on the monitor, the computer monitor. The rat gets tired. The walker grabs it and bites it and eats it. So we see that thing later. That'll come back around again later on in the episode. So Hope and Iris talk to Dr. Bellshaw. Iris is like, well, you did this, you did that. Well, what am I supposed to do? Because Dr. Bellshaw says that CRM was going to take out Omaha and Campus Colony, and Dr. Bellshaw knew about it. That pisses Iris off. Dr. Bellshaw's like, well, what are they going to do about it? They were going to do it anyway, and I would probably die in the process. And Iris is like, well, you couldn't stop anybody. You couldn't do this. Like, what's Dr. Bellshaw going to do? Right? Nothing. Like, she's not going to stop the Civic Republican doing what they want to do. They'll just take her out and bring somebody else around. So Iris is annoying. So Hope tells Dr. Bellshaw where the green vial is in the speaker, that she hid it. So Dr. Bellshaw got what she wanted, but she has this way about her that she thinks she's telling everybody that she wants to save Dr. Bennett and she needs her help. So Hope and Iris go and they hide, and then she sees on the monitors that the soldiers come around and they're looking for Dr. Bellshaw, I guess. Or maybe even Hope and Iris, I don't know. But then they're looking around. Hope and Iris hide by the walkers, and the walkers are like reaching for them, the test subjects, with the white thing over their mouth and the stuff covering their groins and stuff. So they're about to be spotted. Then in the radio, we found her. Come back to base. Stop what you're doing. So then they go. Dr. Bellshaw finds the green vial of stuff. She goes to Jadis and Huck, who are interrogating Dr. Bennett, and she comes in and she's looking at it again. It has a big red square in the center of it, and it says, biohazard or hazardous material. It's a big giant red square on the thing. And Dr. Bellshaw says, no more lies. I have to come clean. I have to say this. And she says, Dr. Bennett stole it. Hope and Iris, they stole it. They hid it. I got it back. And so Dr. Bellshaw dimes out everybody, tells everybody, rats on everybody, but it doesn't matter because we need him to help me. I need to do this. I need to do that. So did Dr. Bellshaw sell Dr. Bennett and everybody out to save her own butt? I think so. But she was doing it so she would say, look, it doesn't matter because Dr. Bennett needs to help me with the research. So Jadis says, look, you sent all these transmissions, you did this, and now you stole stuff. But I'm going to let it all go. You're going to work on the research with Dr. Bellshaw. You're going to do all this, and your kids are going to do that. And Jadis says, look, we got him now. Because if he does anything wrong, we had the two kids, Hope and Iris, that we could put leverage on him. Dr. Bennett's smarter than Dr. Bellshaw, supposedly is what they say. So Dr. Bellshaw says, my test subject has been doing really well for 8 hours. Dr. Jadis says, look, I'm going to let you guys go free, go do all this, and they're good. So it's Huck, Jadis, and Dr. Bellshaw go to see Barca, the test subject. But now he's a walker, and it's 7 hours and 48 minutes and whatever. Again, in big red numbers. Red, all I see is red. So Jadis is like, it's a test subject now as a walker. So you failed. Couldn't do it. So they all go in to see the test subject. It's Barca restrained. He's a walker now. Jadis says, cut the restraints. So Huck looks at her like, what? Takes her gun out, puts Dr. Bellshaw in the corner, cuts the restraints. Huck, Jadis leave the room, lock Dr. Bellshaw in the room with the walker that's Barca. Barca's trying to bite Dr. Bellshaw. She runs around, at least she dodges the walker, right? She's not like right away. Like, it would have been so cheesy. But she puts up a fight, screams like, help me, come on, help me. Jadis and Huck just watch, and Dr. Bellshaw is bit on the trap, the trapezius muscle, by Barca, who's a walker, and blood spurts out, real dramatic on the glass. The handprint comes down. Dr. Bellshaw's gone. Jadis says, look, we got her to turn. We got her to do this. She set up Dr. Bennett to be the new researcher, scientist person. We knew she was lying, this and that. But either way, it was a test for Huck. And Huck says, this was a test all along? Well, it was more than that. But your mom will know that we were working together and we did this and we're doing good and it's all good. So that's when Jadis, off screen, we don't get to see it, tells Huck all about their plan to take out the campus colony, the Omaha, next Portland. Because they don't want any people around. They don't want any of those people. There's no alliance. They're just going to take them all out, continue with the research going forward. They don't have to worry about it anymore. So the end of the episode is Huck talking to Dennis at the place where they're at. I'll let you know when we got something together. We're going to do this. Huck kisses Dennis. She turns around. Silas is standing there with the big metal cattle prod thing that explodes the walker heads. First time Huck and Silas see each other. We got a lot to talk about, kid. And then Silas grips up the metal thing, and that's it. That's the episode. But next week, we'll see Elizabeth Kublik. She's talking to Indira at the perimeter, which I was wrong in the trailer. It was Barca who's the walker, and I thought it was Dove, but Dove got killed last week's episode, so that still happened, but just in a different way. So I'll have to see what happens with the perimeter, going with Dr. Bennett. It's just a lot of big stuff should be happening in the final 3 episodes. Jadis is just, still there, so it's really good to see what Jadis is doing there. So again, we got 3 episodes left. We'll have to see what happens with her. I could see that being, remember in the trailer that we saw Jadis in the woods with the camp set up? I guess she's talking to either Huck or Elizabeth Kublik. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the final episode, and then Jadis goes off to see where it is, and we get to see that. I kind of don't want to leave it on that kind of cliffhanger, but I could see what they're going to do with that too. Jadis has to live most likely because she connect with The Walking Dead and Rick stuff. So overall, it's a pretty good episode. It's probably the best episode of the season, in my opinion. Really kind of set some things up. Set some things up for the remaining 3 episodes. Connect the dots a little bit there too. Fear the Walking Dead was a good episode too, so both episodes are really good. There's still some stuff, going here, going there. But ultimately, guys, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below when you watch the episodes on this live stream or in our videos this week. We'll be posting videos throughout the week. Stay safe. If you watch the episodes tonight, hope you enjoy them. I'll be watching, hopefully, the Cowboys play. Who do they play? I forget. But ultimately, guys, be safe out there. Stay warm. And I'll be back next Sunday to talk about The Walking Dead Season 11. Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, and we'll be on Season 2. I'll be back next week, like I said. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. Keep working hard and get things done. I'll be back next week. Stay safe.